Greetings guys, I welcome you in this video. Today I want us to talk about analyzing US30. So I'm just gonna try to keep this video simple so that it doesn't get that long, and I'm just gonna be focusing on the most important things that you need to know in order for you to effectively analyze this asset. And I've opened a Discord community, so if you're interested in joining our Discord community where we share market analysis, where we share educational material, you can just check the links in the description below. So let's get started. The first thing that I usually like to do is to firstly go to the higher time frame. So in this case, the higher time frame will be the 1 hour. So it doesn't matter which series of time frames are you using, but you just have to make sure that you go to your higher time frame first. And the things that I usually try to find on my higher time frame, it is the key levels. Now when I'm talking about the key levels, I'm talking about the major turning points, which is support and resistance. So here we do have our support all the way down there, and we do have our resistance level. We can start it from here. We have our resistance level all the way there, and you can see that it was a false breakout all the way there, no? So it doesn't matter how you draw it, but we just have that idea that resistance and support, they are zones, no? So you can see that with our resistance all the way there. And then the next thing that you need to analyze as a trader, it is to make sure that you identify where the market is going and how is it heading towards that direction as far as trend is concerned. So you can see that now it is coming from a resistance and it is heading down towards our support area. So what should you focus into? It is to focus on how the trend is changing in this wave as it is heading down. So just for clarity, then I will go to my medium time frame. So I'm gonna go to the 30-minute, and as you can see on the 30-minute, you can now clearly see how the waves are being formed and how the highs are changing. So we can see that we have our high there, and then we have our low all the way there. We have also another high here, and we also have another low all the way there. And then let me just point out the last one here, our low there. So as you can tell, that the market hasn't been moving in a form of a pattern, né? So there is nothing like a pattern that we're going to pay attention into, because here we don't observe any pattern. But the thing that we can observe, it is the change in the structure of the waves, né? So as you can see that we had an impulsive move going down, which was very, very aggressive, and then a corrective wave which was very huge, and then the next impulsive wave didn't give us a low which was lower than that previous one. So remember that when the market is heading down, we're expecting to receive a low that is lower than that one. So we're expecting to receive a low that is going down in this manner, but here we received a low that is higher than the previous one. So if we receive a low that is higher than the previous one, it tells us a lot about the strength of the players, in this case about the strength of the sellers. So if we receive a low like that, it means that the sellers, they are weak, né? So let's continue to pay attention. And as you can see, in terms of the highs, we have a high there, and then we have a lower high. So it's something very, very interesting. So we have a lower high, but when it comes to the low, we have a higher low. So it means that this higher low here was overridden by the fact that the high became lower. So it means that the sellers, they are still here because they were able to outshine their previous high, né? So we can see that the previous high was on this level, and they were able to make sure that it is below this level, meaning they were able to gain strength more than they did before. They were able to push the price down as they did more than they did before, né? And then looking at the next low, we can see that it's lower than the previous one again, which is something very, very interesting. We can see that, oh, it can mean that the sellers are back, né? But then I want you to pay attention to one thing, né? One very, very important thing. These lows here, you can see that this low here and that low, they are at the exact same level. The price was rejected at the exact same level. It tells us something. It means that this level is very, very important. It means that there is smart money in this level or in this specific price. So when you observe things like this, it means that it's not going to be easy for the sellers to go past this area, because they've tried 2 times and they failed. So this can be a sign that the market is likely to go up. It's a sign that the market is likely to fail going towards our support area here. And one thing that I want to show you, it is the flow of the market. You can see that the market has been giving us some M-shaped structures. You can see here with some kind of an M shape, and if you can just go back, you can see here with some kind of a W like that. So you can see that the market has been giving us these kind of structures, and it is likely that in this case we can receive a structure like this, an M. It's like that the market is gonna go down as it is going down and then go up again to that resistance before it heads all the way down. So it's important for you to observe how the price has been behaving. So it's likely that the price is gonna do the exact same thing that it did in this area here, and also the exact same thing that it did on the opposite side as far as the support is concerned. So this is how the market has been behaving, and it is very, very important for you as a trader to observe things like that, because they do influence how the market is going to behave in the future. So we are like to receive an M shape here, because of what it has been doing before. So when you're analyzing this asset, it is important to pay attention to the most recent moves. What were they doing? So what should you be waiting for in this case? Let us go back to our 30 minutes. So one thing that you should be waiting for, let me just erase some of the drawings so that we'll really see what we are doing. So one thing that you should be waiting for, it is now a breakout. As you can see that it is beginning to take place. It is now a breakout of these resisting trend line here, and we can see that this trend is now becoming broken in this area here, but we're waiting for this candle to just complete its move on the outside, because it's like that this candle can change and close inside this or under this resisting trend line. So we're waiting for this candle that is at play now to close outside this resisting trend line, and then we can say it is indeed a breakout. And then once you receive the breakout, it's up to you. You can either scalp as the market is heading towards that area. You can either scalp, or you can just wait for the sellers to come back to play. As I've said, that it's likely that they're gonna go up there before they head all the way down there. So it's up to you what you are going to do in this scenario. And the reason you can scalp all the way upwards, it is because of these structures below here. It is because of these structures below here. If you can see here, we've also this low, and if you can see, this low is at the exact same level as the previous one, or it is a bit higher than the previous one. So it means that indeed this breakout is likely to be genuine. Why? Because the sellers, they failed to break their previous record. They failed to go below this order block here, so they failed to give us a lower low, meaning their strength is now in question. It means that they're getting weaker, because if they are stronger, we're supposed to see our low all the way below that previous one. So this is a sign of failure when it comes to the sellers, and that's something that you should be looking for when you are trading a breakout. Always observe failure prior to that breakout, and this is what we are seeing here. So it's likely that this breakout is genuine, and the market is gonna head up before it goes all the way down to our support down here. So this is how I usually analyze the market. My first attempt, it is to make sure that I identify the key levels, and then make sure that I identify how the market is flowing towards that next key level. For an example here, how is it flowing towards this support? And then once I analyze this wave, I make sure that I make my decision based on the strength that I see inside this wave. I'm just gonna keep this video short, as I've said, and leave it here. Thank you guys for watching.